vinnig praat want dit gaan rof raak hier.
Dit gaan
dink ek.
rof raak.
Wat is warmer as gesmelte sjokolade? Henriette.
Aquaman!
Henriette.
My burning loins? No, not.
Bruin oë van 'n klein hondjie.
En ons kuier by 'n baie spesiale plek. Hulle wil almal na jou toe gaan. Ek dink sy het.
Nee, nou hulle weet nie van my
Ek is die
nie.
favourite.
Nou lyk
Jou
ek
praat
sleg.
jy maar verder. Ek
Nee.
speel.
Hallo. Snacks gee en dan is ons terug by julle dat hulle ook na my toe kom. Hoor, mooi bly.
Some things don't arrive, they've always been. Not for a day, for all of time. Until quietly, something shifts. Moving from someday to now. Women are not honored in time. They are woven through it, shaping every story, every voice, every breath. We are because she is, and because tomorrow they will be.
Welkom by Blitsfokus waar ons jou vervoer in 'n wêreld vol Namibiese jeug. Ons gesels elke maandag om 12:30 met 'n interessante figuur uit die Namibiese jeug wat vir ons meer vertel van sy paadjie of dit is in sport, kuns of kultuur. Ons wil die Namibiese jeug voorfront maak van Namibiese TV. Ons gesels dan ook natuurlik elke week oor 'n baie interessante Afrikaanse boek en al die nuutste Afrikaanse musiek. Maak seker jy mis nie Blitsfokus nie. Op DStv kanaal 285, GoTV kanaal 25 en dan natuurlik ons webtuiste OneUp2 onder Zone TV. Blitsfokus waar ons die jeug se stem die wêreld se fokus maak.
Ons is kuier by 'n kom ons begin oor.
Okay, no worries. Camera still rolling. Pull this
Oh, we just go again. Okay.
Okay, it's fine.
Ons Ons kuier by Yoga Shala en Lara Lynn. Hi Lara Lynn.
Hi.
Hierdie is 'n baie unieke program. Maar kom ons begin by die yoga deel. Dit is iets wat jy al vir jare doen. What is about yoga that makes it so special?
Yeah, I've been practicing yoga for about 20 years.
Wow.
And, you know, one of my favorite things that they say is it doesn't matter why you start, yoga works anyway. So for me, I started doing yoga because I wanted to get more flexible because I was doing kickboxing. And then yoga becomes like part of your life.
Yeah, it's like a lifestyle then.
Exactly.
Eh?
It's not just about the movements, it's about what you're learning on the mat. It's about learning about yourself when you're uncomfortable. It's about learning about yourself when you're quiet, when you're not being distracted by the outside world.
Dis iets wat ek nou wil gou op vashaak. Dit is nie net oor oefeninge nie. Dis hoekom ek gesê dit it's like a movement thing, but there's a lot of mind being also involved in this whole yoga. I want to call it a lifestyle.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. Is that we harness the mind through the body.
Yes.
When the body is unwell or when you haven't spent energy very well, the mind is quite scattered and very difficult to access. And when you're practicing yoga, you start to notice after the yoga practice, it's so much easier for me to meditate. It's easier for me to be that quiet that we spoke about where we're not distracted by the outside world. And people start to discover a lot more about themselves. It's also about soothing your nervous system, lifestyle.
Sê gou, Lara, het jy dit vir jouself geleer? Did you start reading up on it? Or how can one make it part of your lifestyle?
Luckily, yoga is super accessible, so people can find yoga online. Most places will have a yoga studio. Most places will have at least one yoga teacher, and even if it's not a certified teacher, most places have got access to somebody who just knows a little bit. And that's my biggest advice, is just start small. Learn the sun salutations and do 2 or 3 of them in the morning.
Just the basics also.
Yeah.
Ons het nou honde wat is so.
Everybody's why are there puppies?
Exactly. Please explain the puppies, Lara.
So we have been partnering with the SPCA Windhoek to host puppy and kitten yoga sessions. I mean, what's better, right? Combining the best of both worlds. It's a massive dose of endorphins. So the SPCA brings some of their puppies and kittens here. We do the yoga, they bring the puppies, and the people just come and have like a lot of fun.
Bringing the puppies together with the yoga. Do you do a movement and you hold the puppy? How does it work?
No, so we just do yoga in the room and the puppies decide. They're completely free agents.
Okay.
They're not paid actors. So they're somewhat unpredictable, but that's sort of part of the fun. And so we're just doing yoga in the space. We had some really interesting, when we were doing Om chanting and watching how the puppies responded to the Om was hilarious. Of the, I don't know how many puppies we had, 8 or 10 puppies, 4 or 5 of them immediately urinated on the floor.
Really?
And then they were back at it again.
Okay, we're not Oming.
But they just run around and have fun and lick people and kiss people, and they're responding a lot to the energy in the room.
That's what I wanted to ask. Can you see from the puppy side? Because I imagine if you do kickboxing or CrossFit or something, it wouldn't have the same effect. So, so you can actually see the puppies react to what is happening in the room.
Yeah, they can tell the energy in the room. I mean, most people will tell you that if you have pets at home and you try to do yoga, as soon as you get on the floor and start doing yoga, the animals are like, what you doing?
Exactly.
All our students tell us, oh, I can't do yoga at home because my dogs just won't let me, or my cats are just weaving in and out of my legs.
Yes, exactly.
So I think that they can feel that their owner or the people in the room are suddenly vibrating at a different frequency, that they're happier, that they're breathing well, that they're connected. And so we just thought it's such a beautiful thing to bring these two very therapeutic and healing modalities together, because being with animals is known to be so healing and so therapeutic. So this is like a double whammy.
Lara, something that I wanted to ask, I sometimes wonder about Namibians and new stuff, because I would imagine puppy yoga is quite a new thing in Namibia.
Yes.
Do you feel people are open?
Yeah, absolutely. We found that people were instantly drawn to the idea. Till now, we've had 1 puppy yoga and 1 kitten yoga session, and both of them booked out right away. On this Saturday, we're hosting the 2nd puppy yoga session.
Here at Yogashala?
Yes, here at the Yogashala. Luckily, we're just up the road from the SPCA, so it's been a very beautiful relationship with them. And it's just been a flawless, beautiful effort.
The difference between the puppies and the kittens, because kittens and cats are more timid, aren't they? So what is there like a different energy, different vibe when you do it with the kittens?
Yes, for sure. The kittens, they definitely are a little bit more prone to finding a little hiding space, and there were a few braver ones, but that's also what we're learning every time we do it, is we're learning what works for the animals and what works for us as well. So
and you want it to be beneficial for both, of course.
Exactly. For the puppies and kittens, it's great because they get to be socializing outside of the SPCA around more humans in different spaces. So I'm guessing that really helps them to build some confidence. And of course, people fall in love with the pets, and we're hoping they get adoptions from that.
They are very busy and very good potty trained.
So far.
Lara, something that, going back to the yoga, Joe will talk more about the SPCA side. Your journey with yoga, you said you've been doing it for 20 years already.
Yeah.
How would you describe that journey, your personal journey? Is it, did you learn more about yourself? Did your life change? Can you still continue learning even after 2 decades? This being a part of who you are, actually.
Yeah, the learning never ends, and that's the beautiful part, is that you're just constantly uncovering more and more about yourself, about your personality. And I think for me, the biggest transformation was a much deeper connection with my physical body, but also just with my emotions and my mind.
Because we don't go inside. No.
A lot of people don't, or a lot of people identify too much with their thoughts or their feelings. They forget that you have thoughts and you have feelings. You're not your thoughts and feelings. You're not.
That's not the sum of me, is what I think and what I feel.
Exactly. And most people also, if you think about, our thoughts are much more of a collective something that we get from our society, something we get from our parents, from our peers, from school, from TV. So your thoughts are very much something that can come into your mind and your body at any time, but it's learning to steer that. Yes, absolutely. And most people are very overwhelmed by their thoughts. They're overstimulated. They don't spend enough time sitting in silence or just breathing or just feeling into their bodies and connecting.
Yeah. Wow, I feel you have an awesome energy. Thank you so much, Laurel. En Joe gaan nou hierna gesels met ek het geen idee wat haar naam is nie. Hanna, thank you Lara, Hanna. Maar Joe is besig om die hondjies reeds in die kar te laai om huis toe te vat, maar hierna is Joe en die honde by julle.
Oké, dis amper weer sulke tyd, dis amper tyd vir Kletskompas en 'n heel nuwe tyd geleef ook nog.
Wonderlik, wonderlik. Ons moet die mense verwelkom, ons gaan luister, ons gaan praat, dit gaan lekker wees.
Ja, gesels met die mense wat jou raak, hulle stories hoor, ook stories vanuit die volgende dag se Republikein, so jy kry eers te kyk na die nuus wat jy môre in die koerant gaan kry. En dan nou natuurlik ons tydsverandering.
Ja, ons verwelkom julle na ons nuwe tydsgeleef 8uur. Ons sluit ons aan.
8uur die aand, maandag gesels jy sport en die res van die week gesels ek lekker oor mense se stories. Elke maandag tot donderdag om 8uur.
Die laaste keer in hierdie onderhoud wat ek van Afrikaans praat, want by ons is Hanna Rode. Hi Hanna, welcome to the show all the way from Sweden.
Oh, thanks. It's been a while since I lived in Sweden.
It's been a while. Yes, I can see you obviously acclimatized very nicely. Hanna, you with the SPCA, the DBV in Afrikaans. Tell us a little bit about your work there.
Yeah, so I've been with the SPCA for almost 6 years here in Windhoek. We're also SPCA Namibia, so it's kind of interchangeable. I worked in animal welfare for the past 15 years and primarily in animal sheltering. So yeah, I think, you know, that's summary or short version of myself.
Where does it come from, the love for animals?
I think from early on, I remember distinctly, for me, like a very compassionate moment was when I was 9 years old and I went into a pet store. I had been dying to get a couple of gerbils and my dad finally said, yes, you can have a couple. And then my brother got a guinea pig, but he was only 5. And my mom was furious and said, well, we can't have them all. So, and then I ended up saying, I don't want to take him back to the pet shop, so I'll keep the guinea pig.
Oh, awesome. Okay, and it's been a love story ever since.
Exactly, yeah.
Working, as you said just now, you've been in animal welfare for more than a decade. And with the SPCA here, yes, they throw you a bone, you can play with it.
Hi, Brown.
On the one hand, very rewarding, but also sad. How do you cope?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's a topic that's not very often talked about or considered for people that get involved in the animal welfare field. There's a lot of compassion fatigue and burnout. And I think one thing that we find within our team is that we talk about things. You know, we look at things from different angles because we have to make difficult decisions. We have to, we experience secondary trauma on a daily basis with animals coming in all types of different conditions. But looking at the positives, you know, when we can reunite a lost pet with their owner, or if we can find a forever home for an animal that has been abandoned or rescued by the SPCA. And we take joy in those moments because we have to.
The small wins,
Exactly, the small wins is exactly what we call it.
These two, obviously, they're up for adoption.
Yeah.
You'll have to rush because Henriette and I are already fighting over them. But in terms of adoptions at the moment, what is the situation at the SPCA in terms of numbers?
Yeah, so in terms of numbers, we take in over 4,000 animals a year. That's about 50-50, almost cats and dogs, but about 150 other animal species we see as well on an annual basis. We've rescued pangolins, porcupines, bats, chickens, all sorts of different types of animals. We've come across baboons that have been injured. We work with a range of, if we can't keep the animals at the SPCA, we work with a range of different organizations that are better suited to take care of these animals. But we function as kind of a first stop for a lot of these situations, and we then triage the situation from there. As far as our adoption numbers, they have unfortunately declined. We're not quite sure exactly what it is. We have not increased our adoption fees on a regular basis because we want to make sure that it's affordable, but at the same time we also need to make sure that people take this seriously and it's not just take an animal up and so this is also, doing this collaboration or partnership with Yogashala is a way for us to get these puppies and kittens out of the shelter. I think there's a stigma around shelter pets sometimes, that they're different or they have special needs. Oftentimes they come to the shelter from due to no fault of their own.
Of course.
But some people find it very overwhelming to be in a shelter environment, and we always try to make sure that we can create an environment where it's welcoming to come to the SPCA, but it is incredibly positive to take these animals out of the shelter environment and show people that they're just like any other puppy. They're just as happy, playful, deserving as a puppy coming from any other place. So this is a part of that initiative, trying to increase our adoption numbers. Even if no one wants to adopt a puppy that they do yoga with, they might know someone looking for a puppy, and the word spreads that way. So.
Yes. One of the things that people might wonder when they consider adoption is the fact that they already have animals at home, and how these different groups will intermingle. Do you have a way of sort of looking at that?
Absolutely. So we have quite a rigorous adoption application procedure, and it's there for a reason. It's based on where the animals came from, and also what kind of home would be suitable for this particular animal. We also do kind of eliminate different risk factors. So if you have cats at home and you want to adopt a dog or a puppy from us, we'll do a cat test at the SPCA, because the last thing you want to do is cause any harm to your animals at home. So to the extent possible, and obviously these are live animals, it's not a guarantee, but to the extent possible, we try to mitigate those situations ahead of time. So for example, if you're adopting a dog and you want to adopt another dog, we actually make you bring your dog in so that we can do a meet and greet at the SPCA. It's neutral grounds. Your dog is not trying to protect its house. And see how the dogs do, because then if you have your mindset on Buck here, but your dog and Buck doesn't get along, then maybe Brad is a better option. If that works out well, then Brad is probably going to be your pick. We often say that it's not you picking the animal.
The animal picks you, yes.
Or it's your animals that pick the other animal.
Oh, yes, of course. Oh, heavens help me.
So, it's a big responsibility. These animals live for 15 to 20 years. And it's much better to do these, 3 to 7 day of kind of more intensive procedures, so that you are set up for success.
Yes. Okay. I now just want to play with the doggies. A last question. Do you think they enjoy the puppy yoga?
I do think so, and we try and select puppies that are quite confident, that will enjoy this environment, because the last thing we want to do is cause any animal distress or undue stress. So we do identify the puppies that would really enjoy this. But again, this is also a socialization opportunity for them, and it's so incredibly important for puppies and kittens under 16 weeks of age to be fully socialized. So that's meeting other animals, seeing new environments, seeing a TV turned on. So we try and put as much effort as we can early into their years.
Finally, adoption fees. Quickly run us through the range.
Yeah, so dog adoption fee is $1,350. Cat adoption fees are $930. And we also have rabbits, rats, and guinea pigs at the SPCA at the moment. They are $220. Every single of these animal species go home sterilized, so they cannot reproduce. And that is an effort, it's both for health reasons. The animals don't run away, they don't go wandering in the same way. And as the SPCA, because we receive so many animals every year, this is a very important step in trying to curb the overpopulation of pets. Cats and dogs are also up to date on vaccines. After that, it's the owner's responsibility to take them in on an annual basis. They have been given D-tick and D-flea treatments, deworming, and both cats and dogs go home microchipped as well. So there's quite a lot that is included in the adoption fee, and it's a fraction of what you would have to pay at the vet. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Ons gaan nou 'n bietjie puppy yoga doen. So ek sê jou nou.
Hallo Namibia, ons is by die kus en ons is lus.
By the Easter shark.
Okay. Okay, so
Uitsa is 'n eg Namibiese inisiatief. Ons reis op die hartklop van Afrika en vertel stories van mense en hulle dorpe op verskeie platforms insluitende televisie en sosiale media. Dit is joune, syne, julle en ook almal van hulle aan die ander kant van ons grense sinne en dit maak Uitsa 'n lekker ding. Kyk Uitsa maande om 18:30 op NTV, oneup2.com as ook op Netwerk Media Hub en NTV Afrikaans se YouTube kanale. Volg ons op Facebook of besoek ons webwerf by uitsafrika.com.
Morning dogs.
Okay.
Now, where's Laura? Okay, now like so.
Up dog.
Up dog.
Up dog.
Up dog.
Up dog.
Downward facing dog.
Downward facing dog. Doggy style.
2 beaches out.
Inderdaad.
En dit is dit.
En dit is dit. Dankie, totsiens. Bye bye.